So if I had a magic wand, I would magically transform all of the principles that we develop when a new technology sort of like arrives in the public consciousness. Like think of the hundreds of principles and codes of ethics that have been developed for AI in the last 5 years. And I would immediately transform all of those principles and codes into real operating values and real practices. Because it's not like we don't know what the right thing to do is. Like we just cannot effectively organize around it, in present tense, relative to all of the other incentives and forces at play. But at the end of the day, these are all just choices. And they're choices made by people, and we can make choices differently. So I suppose that, also a pretty good summary for why a program like this is also pretty important.
If I had a magic wand that I would change to ensure technology is beneficial for all, I guess I would change the teams that were working on making some of the products and make them more diverse. I believe that's one way of removing bias from our thinking and help reduces the assumptions we make.
If I had a magic wand and could change one thing to ensure that technology was beneficial for all, I think it would be the voices that are involved in deciding what technologies we take up, what technologies we develop, how they're developed, and why. And I think if going forward, we can actually think about how communities can engage in the conversation around what technologies we choose to go forward with, how we choose to make those technologies available, and in what ways we want to implement them, and when eventually we want to dispose of them, what that looks like and how we go about it. I think that will fundamentally change the way that we think about technology, rather than as something that the engineers or the technologists bring to the world, but something that society actually chooses, taking into account all voices, not just the human voices, but our environment around us, and the need and the desires, not just of us as humans, but to ensure that we're actually building a sustainable world going forward.
If I could wave a magic wand to ensure technology is beneficial for all, here's what I would change, at least for people who study engineering. All students would have ongoing opportunities to learn how to think critically about the way that technology is created and designed in the first place. Critical thinking gives you more skills to analyze whether solutions are inclusive, equitable, and just. Critical thinking means that you ask more questions about the broader implications of your work. To me, being a tech steward really goes hand in hand with being a critical thinker.